Welcome to our third class, and today we're going to talk about building a referral network, which is a very important long-term marketing strategy for you as you build your practice. Uh, in other episodes we can talk about what we can do short-term, because I know a lot of you might be anxious about what can I do now, what can I do today to bring business in the door. Well, this isn't that kind of strategy. It falls into the category of what Stephen Covey calls important but not urgent. So Covey says that there are certain tasks that you have in your life that are important but not urgent. A good example might be writing a book. That would be a very important project, very important for the development of your career, but it's not urgent. You don't have to do it this week, you don't have to do it next week. So developing a referral network falls into that category. As a long-term strategy, it's hard to think of anything that would be more important really in developing your business. Let's start with this proposition. The best business in the world is referred business. We love referred business. It comes in the door pre-sold. It comes in the door with what we call third-party credibility. It has a very low acquisition cost, and psychologically it's so much more fun to be sought out by someone than it is to go pitch yourself. So here at my firm, I absolutely love it when I'm contacted by a lawyer who has been told by another lawyer that we're a terrific marketing firm and that they should talk to us. So you as an attorney, this is what you want. You want clients calling you up saying that this and such other attorney or financial advisor or local mediator or any number of kinds of people said you were terrific and that they should call you. So half your battle's won right off the bat. You've got a kind of credibility with them that you don't have to establish by telling them things about yourself. The other thing is that each one of these referral sources that you get can send you not one client, but lots of clients. And not just this year, but every year. So really what you're doing is annuitizing your business. You're building up a level of reliable sources of business that are going to immunize you against the kind of roller coaster that so many solo attorneys experience, where they get a whole lot of clients in February and then for some reason not many clients in March. That makes it hard to budget, hard to do business, hard to hire people, and so on. You want to try and smooth that out by creating your own pipeline of reliable referral sources that will send you clients on a steady basis. So this is a very, very important thing, even though it doesn't usually have a short-term payoff. Why doesn't it have a short-term payoff? Well, because referral-based marketing is predicated upon forming a relationship. You have to form a relationship with the referral source, and you got to nurture and grow that relationship. In terms of, we can make an analogy with something like dating. Okay, you can't call somebody up on the phone the first time and say, let's get married. You've got to go out on dates, you've got to follow it up with notes and flowers, you got to get to know each other, you got to meet each other's families and all of that kind of thing. Developing a referral source is a little bit like developing a romantic relationship. It takes time. So it's not an instant payoff kind of strategy, but it sure is one that has a long-lasting value, long-lasting appeal for you and for your law firm. So we want to do everything that we can to develop referral sources. The problem is for most people that they do so in terms of happenstance. Okay, I happen to meet this guy down at the courthouse, we happen to have a drink, now he sends me a client every now and then. That's fine, but that's not the way you want to go about it. You want to go about developing your referral network systematically and continuously. What do I mean by that? Well, there are 4 steps to it. I hope you're taking notes. Here they are. Number 1, define the target universe. What do I mean by that? Well, we need to know what kind of people can send us business, could be thought reasonably to send us business. So let's say that you are an estate planning attorney, as many of my clients are. Well, your referral sources might be other attorneys who don't practice estate planning, financial advisors, CPAs and accountants, especially those who serve small businesses or small business owners. It might be any kind of advisor to wealthy families, that kind of thing. So that's the first step. Now, if you are an elder law attorney, for example, and you're practicing in the area of Medicaid planning, long-term care, those kinds of areas, then you might have another referral universe in the social medical field. So your sources might be hospital discharge planners, Medicaid administrators in nursing homes, geriatric care workers, gerontologists, neurologists, the officers of the local Alzheimer's Association. Might be those kind of people. That's your first step. Define who these people are who could theoretically refer business to you if they simply knew about you and had a relationship with you. Step number 2, identify the members of the target universe. So we need a list of all of the people who meet those criteria that we just enumerated. So you might say, okay, within a 50-mile radius of my office, or 100 miles, or whatever's appropriate, I want a list of all the lawyers who don't practice in my field of practice, because those could be great referral sources for me. Or I want a list of the following, medical personnel, or something like that. In the case of my personal injury clients, other lawyers are really the key referral sources, because other lawyers have clients, divorce lawyers, estate planning lawyers, bankruptcy lawyers, and so on. And those clients get injured and they have a personal injury case, and those particular attorneys neither have the skill to pursue that case, nor do they have the time and resources to cover the costs of that kind of case, nor do they want to. So an easy solution for them is to refer that case out, and if you're our client, you want to get those referrals. So the first thing to do, determine that universe, and then secondly, identify the members of that universe. So that means compiling a list. You can buy a list, and then you can augment it with your own research and so on. So you want a list that has name, address, telephone number, fax number, and email address if you can get it. And that's going to be a very important resource for you. Step number 3, initiate the relationship. What does that mean? That means you need to break the ice somehow. To go back to our analogy about a romantic relationship, if you're sitting there in a night spot and you see an attractive member of the opposite sex down at the end of the bar, you got to think of some way to break the ice. So this is the same sort of thing. You got to find some way to initiate that relationship. Now, at its most primitive, at its crudest level, that might be simply a letter of introduction with your business card in it. Hi, I'm so-and-so, I practice in these areas, love to have your referrals, and so on. I think you can do much better than that. For some of our clients, the way to do it might be to offer a course or a boot camp or a retreat where they're going to teach their particular subject, say estate planning, something like that, to advisors, CPAs, financial advisors, other lawyers, for continuing education credits. You got to put some effort into that. You got to go, outline the course, get it approved by their agency, whatever it is, the State Board of Accountancy or whoever, get it approved for continuing education credits, and then you got to put together a brochure or a promo material and mail it out to them. But what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with 20, 30, 40, 50, who knows, CPAs or financial advisors or other lawyers in your office learning from you and being rewarded with continuing education credits, which they're all required to get. And the whole thing is really a pretext for meeting them and forming the relationship, letting them get familiar with you and what you do and see you as an authority in that field. So for some of our clients who don't do that, they do something like a Medicaid planning roundtable. They host a networking luncheon in which they invite people from the legal financial world and also from the medical social world to meet and discuss the issues that face senior Americans as they grapple with the issues of costs and long-term care. So whatever the pretext is, you should make it a legitimate one. You should have something to give in terms of your knowledge and your experience and so on. But really the entire goal is simply to break the ice, simply to initiate that relationship on favorable terms. And then step number 4, drip. In marketing terms, dripping means that periodically everybody who is on our list, everybody who is in that universe that we have defined, gets something from us. It could be a personal note. It could be a copy of an article that you thought was interesting. It could be a newsletter, a printed newsletter. It could be an email. It could be an electronic newsletter. It could be a postcard. It doesn't really matter. The touch is more important than the content. So people, unfortunately, do not sit around thinking about us day in and day out. They have to be reminded. And it's quite common that one of my clients will get a call from a financial advisor, for example, who says, you know, it's really funny, I've got a file sitting right here on my desk. The case is perfect for you. I don't know why I didn't think of you. But then your postcard arrived, or your newsletter arrived, or your email arrived. So you can't assume that somebody that you know who gets a case that's perfect for you will think of you or will automatically put that together. You have to stay with it in order to create what marketers call top-of-mind awareness, TOMA, which means that when they think of certain issues and certain needs, they think first and immediately of you. Now, a couple more points about referral marketing, and then we'll wrap this one up. First of all, you need to be referable. What do I mean by referable? Well, Dan Sullivan of the Strategic Coach has 4 little bullet points that he makes what he calls ultimate referability. I think so much of them that for years I've had them on a little stand, a little plaque on my desk. And they are the following. 1, show up on time. 2, do what you say. 3, finish what you start. 4, say please and thank you. If you do those 4 things, you are going to get referrals. You are going to be referable. That means that other people are going to have confidence in referring to you. When people make a referral, what do they want really? They want that person that they referred to come back to them and thank them for making the referral. Oh, thank goodness you sent me over to see Fred. Boy, he's great. Thank you so much for that referral. That's what people want. People like to refer. People like to tell you about a new restaurant they've tried, or what they thought about the latest movie that they've seen, or something like that. They like to help, and they like to refer. So you need to be referable, and you need to create the circumstances where that client that was referred to you will go back to the person who referred them and thank them for that, and thank them profusely. Another important point is, and I shouldn't have to make this point, but I'm going to make it anyway, and that is, you need to say thank you. You need to nurture this relationship. I had an experience one time where, occasionally people send emails to Smart Marketing thinking that we are a law firm or that we can refer them to a lawyer. And when I can, I do, when I know somebody. And I had a question, an inquiry from a client who needed an estate planning attorney on the East Coast of Florida. And I referred that client to an attorney I knew over there, who was not my client, just an attorney I knew. And I sent the client, never heard anything more about it. Didn't hear back from the attorney really, or the client, or anything like that. About 6 months later, I was at a conference, and I ran into the attorney. And I said, hey, did so-and-so ever call you that I referred over there? And he said, oh yeah, he did. That was a good case. That turned out to be a very good case. Yeah, we worked with them, and that was good. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, why didn't you call to say thank you or send me a note or find some way to appreciate that? But surely now I'm standing in front of you and I've just brought the subject up, you're going to say thank you. And I waited and I waited and he never did. He just, thought that was terrific that I'd sent him the client and never bothered to say thank you. Now, do you think that the next time that I got that kind of inquiry and looking for an estate planning attorney on the East Coast of Florida, that I sent that person to that lawyer? No, I didn't. I found somebody else. It sounds elementary, but Pavlov and B.F. Skinner and the other psychologists who specialize in what's called behaviorism would tell you that if you want to encourage a behavior, you reward it. So if somebody sends you a referral, whether or not that person ever becomes your client, you need to say thank you, and if you can, to say thank you in some sort of significant way. So there are state bar rules oftentimes that govern what you can do, but you need to show your appreciation. Maybe if this case turned out to be worth thousands of dollars, you'd send a nice Mount Blanc pen. Or maybe if it's smaller, you send a box of Godiva chocolates for that person's office, or whatever it is. But you're going to find some way to show your appreciation and your thanks for to nurture that relationship and to grow your referral network and to stay in touch with your referral network. So systematically, continuously, month in, month out, across the years, as you start this new practice, every month be adding to your referral network, your network of referral sources. Nurture that network, stay in front of them, nurture those relationships, and I promise you, you're going to have a practice that is going to be much more stable than others that your contemporaries founded at the same time. You're going to take a lot of the stress, a lot of the worry, a lot of the roller coaster out of it, and you're going to take a lot of pressure off your marketing, because those relationships are going to provide you with a steady flow of clients, which means you're not going to have to advertise to get those clients as much. You're not going to have to do as many seminars to get those clients. You're not going to have to do as much on the internet to get those clients. It's just going to provide you with a base that's going to make the acquisition of clients a lot less stressful and a lot more rewarding. So take those lessons and apply them to your practice. Always be adding to your referral network, and you will live long and prosper. So have fun, and don't forget what I told you today. Thank you.